Something pressed against her lips, soft and sweet. A strawberry. Ooh, this was getting fun. She grinned and snapped at it, trying to nip his fingers. He was faster, though, evading her but depositing the fruit upon her tongue. She chewed thoughtfully while she heard a clink and the sound of liquid being poured into a glass. She took her cue from him and waited in silence. She was rewarded with a sip of champagne from a glass he held pressed to her lower lip. She giggled as some dribbled down her chin, but he was ready. She felt him lean in, and his tongue, warm and sexy, caught the liquid. Then he kissed her again.
I like this game.
Nate set the glass on the counter and ran a fingertip down her neck and over her collarbone. She shivered as his hands parted her winter jacket and slipped it off, pausing only to give her another sip of champagne. The jacket rustled to the floor as he shifted his attention to her blouse. He fumbled at the buttons, his large hands clumsy against the tiny things, though eventually each one gave way. She felt cool air against her skin and shivered.
What are you?
Another strawberry was pressed into her mouth, and she got the idea. Talking was discouraged. She munched the second treat and decided that playing along would be more fun. Besides, she'd never done anything like this before. This whole scenario was like something out of one of those big-budget Hollywood pictures they claim isn't soft porn, while it obviously is. It was kind of fun in its own way. All that was missing was the soundtrack. When Nate eased the shirt off her shoulders, she moaned, deciding that perhaps the soundtrack was up to her. She arched her back against him as she felt the blouse fall away, catching in her belt, so that it hung off the waistband of her skirt. He paid no more attention to it, instead slipping his hand around behind her to release her bra. The cool air of the house caressed her breast, and she felt her nipples harden, even before his hand touched them. He swiveled the stool so that he stood behind her, his right hand cupping and caressing her right breast, playing gently with the nipple, his left hand alternating between berries and wine.
So ambidextrous, Mr. Turner.
She purred and laid her head back against him. He leaned down to kiss the top of her head and moved his hand to the other breast. Fingertips rolled the nipple between his fingers until it was so hard it ached. Amanda's head tilted back against his shoulder, her own hand reaching back, wanting to find him, to touch him too, until once again she was batted away. "Let me," he murmured, his lips against her ear. It tickled, and she ducked her head, smothering a giggle.